A city fund built to make Denver streets safer is also now paying to rebuild a parking ticket dispute system that the city dismantled during last year's budget cuts. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kim Christensen.
I'm Kyle Clark. Some city council members are proposing changes as a result. Let's bring in 9 News reporter Spencer Soisher on this. Spencer, they want to make sure that funding that was earmarked for road safety projects doesn't get diverted to other things.
Yeah, a few years back, Denver City Council raised the price on city parking meters and directed that extra money toward a fund to pay for things like walking and biking safety improvements. Except when the budget got real tight last year, money got pulled out of that fund to pay for other stuff. Now the council is hoping to put up some guardrails. Paying the parking meter in Denver doesn't mean you know where the money is going.
It's so frustrating to see the money misappropriated when we've got record traffic fatalities happening in Denver.
Jill Locantore runs Denver Street Partnership. She was happy in 2021 when Denver City Council raised city parking meter prices from $1 an hour to $2.
And that second dollar was dedicated to a fund specifically to improve traffic safety.
That fund generates about $15 million a year, but it's not all going to safety improvements.
More than $8 million of the fund was specifically allocated for parking operations, including the system for appealing parking tickets.
In a budget crunch last year, Denver Mayor Mike Johnston cut the online parking ticket appeal system. Then, to pay for a new one, he took money out of the mobility fund.
It's government dysfunction at its finest.
On Monday, Denver City Council members proposed stricter limits on what it can be used for.
And I think that's part of what we're trying to do here is make sure that that money stays in the fund and doesn't ever end up in the general fund.
There's a lot of programs that would come out in regards to this in the wash.
City Transportation Director Amy Ford gets the point, but says the language would prevent the city from operating mobile parking apps and meters.
The things that generate the money also includes the cost of the things to generate the money. So you sort of push them together.
This fund is for making our streets safer, and the way it's being used is not making our streets safer.
The Department of Transportation says that online appeals program the city is now paying to reestablish will cost about $400,000. Of course, it's not set up yet. And in the meantime, to dispute a parking ticket in Denver, drivers have to go to the city and county building to schedule a court hearing, then come back again to court a couple months later to argue their case in front of a judge. Spencer Soisher, 9 News.
After record heat over the weekend, today we got a little relief. Denver topped out at 93, a 10-degree drop from yesterday. We'll take it. Cloudy weather and showers and storms helped, like this one in the mountains. Look at that rainbow, though. Loveland Pass was treated to a nice double rainbow this evening. With much more in your forecast, we now turn to Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabin.
Hi there. We're tracking some showers in downtown Denver. I just went out into the 9 News backyard. It smells amazing outside, that smell of fresh rain. And there's a little thunder and lightning around as well. So you might hear that as you're trying to go off to sleep tonight. The sky's kind of lighting up occasionally. We've been watching the rain and the lightning. Temperatures have come down a bit into the 70s to about 80 degrees, much cooler than this time last night. And that's kind of a nice trend. There's a lot to show you on the radar. A lot of thunder and lightning. And we're seeing some showers move from west to east over downtown Denver. They're already kind of starting to fall apart. We did have a few showers from Cherry Hills Village down to Parker, a few leftover showers around Platteville, lots of lightning in southeastern Colorado, and lots of rain reports coming in from the western slope and the southwest where they desperately need the moisture. We'll see the storms move out. Skies will clear. We get a mostly sunny start tomorrow and then another round of slow-moving storms. This time Denver gets in on the action, and there is some potential for some heavier rainfall tomorrow afternoon and evening. Temperatures are comfortable out there and will stay so overnight tonight. Weather headlines will include another air quality alert. It is out through 4 o'clock tomorrow. We'll have more on that in your extended forecast coming up.
Communities in northern Colorado are devastated by the loss of 3 young men in a crash over the weekend. That crash happened east of Alt on Saturday night. CSP says speed may have been a factor.
9 News reporter Rachel Krause shows us how the community is remembering the lives lost.
On the side of County Road 80, names are staked to the ground, one for each young man who died at this spot days earlier. Here, silence hangs heavy Family, friends, former classmates file down the dirt road as grief mixes in a humid July air. On Saturday, CSP says an SUV with 5 men inside was speeding down 80 when it went off the road and into the ditch. Everyone inside was thrown out. The driver, a 20-year-old from Wyoming, was flown to a hospital with critical injuries. A 19-year-old from Eaton suffered minor injuries, but 20-year-old Cash Rinker, 19-year-old Jack Dirksen, and 19-year-old Cooper Nieder died. All three recently graduated from Eaton High School. The superintendent of Eaton Schools posting, "Our hearts, thoughts, and prayers continue to be with our entire community as we remember the loved ones we have lost." Online, memories are pouring in for the young men. The Colorado Lumberjacks baseball team, where Cooper Nieder played, posted Cooper brought light, grit, and unwavering positivity. Cash Rinker played for the Fort Collins Foxes, the team remembering him for his sense of humor and energy. Now, on a quiet road northeast of Eaton, flowers fill the spot where the SUV came to rest Saturday. The community holding tight to their memories of Cash, Cooper, and Jack, and to one another. In Weld County, Rachel Krause, 9 News.
Eaton Area Parks and Rec says they will be bringing in comfort dogs to the community center on Wednesday, and Eaton Schools says it will have grief counselors at the high school Wednesday night to connect students and families to resources and support.
The discovery of a person's body inside an overpass in Adams County is highlighting a growing issue. That person was found dead as firefighters responded to a fire Saturday morning at 70th Avenue and I-25. It came days after a crew working for CDOT discovered an encampment inside the 44th Avenue bridge over I-25 in Denver. New video shows crews clearing out debris like TV trays, videotapes, folding chairs, flat screens. A similar thing happened inside the Highway 58 overpass near 44th Avenue in Wheatridge 3 years ago. CDOT says $2 to $3 million a year are spent on trash cleanup, including the removal of encampments.
Even after a site is cleaned up, oftentimes our crews need to return even weeks after, as individuals may move to a new location or revisit a previous site.
Wheatridge officers go out monthly with CDOT crews. They can issue tickets for trespassing, but in some cases work to get people medical care or other help.
The owner of a nightclub in Denver where a deadly shooting happened last week says he will not try to reopen the business. One person was killed, 8 others injured in the shooting at Ultra Lounge East on East Hampden. Happened a week ago today. Police say it started with a confrontation between two groups that escalated outside the club. In the days following the shooting, the city of Denver pulled the club's licenses, accused it of a list of violations. Today, the owner, Deontay Wilkins, said he will not try to reopen the place.
It's a hard topic because this has been going on in our community for a long time. This isn't the first situation, and unfortunately, it probably won't be the last. But I think if we can take these steps to try to offer whatever we can as a community to hopefully stop these type of things from happening, I think that's the benefits of today's conversation.
At this point, police have not reported making any arrests in connection with that shooting.
Family and friends of a Denver area woman tell us she is the most recent person arrested by ICE at an airport. The woman, originally from Belarus, was arrested at the Miami airport on Friday. We are waiting for ICE to confirm before we use her name. It's the third public arrest at an airport in the last week. The arrest of a woman boarding a flight in Denver went viral last week. ICE says she was arrested for an expired visa. Her attorney says she has a work permit and a pending immigration application. And a flight attendant was arrested at the Nashville airport. I said that was for an expired visa as well. A group out of UCLA and UC Berkeley run the Deportation Data Project, which gathers ICE arrest data through open records requests. Under President Trump's second term, through this past March, we found 487 out of 385,000 ICE arrests at airport. DIA wasn't even listed among the listed arrests. Almost half have happened at Chicago O'Hare Airport. Earlier this year, the acting TSA director was asked during a congressional hearing if TSA shares all passenger information with ICE to check for passengers with deportation orders.
We don't send the information to ICE. We help ICE check against information. And yes, absolutely, we do that. And we are supporting the mission of our colleagues at the Department of Homeland Security, and that includes enforcement of immigration laws.
We should note the data from ICE is only as good as how it is input into the system. We found 487 instances where airports were listed as the arrest location. It's possible there are more if the word airport was not included in the data.
We now know the name of the 15-year-old boy killed in a lightning strike on the summit of Mount Blue Sky over the weekend. The Clear Creek County Sheriff's Office says it was Levi Strobel. The teenager's family passed along this photo. The lightning strike happened yesterday afternoon around 1:30. Levi's younger brother was also injured. He was airlifted to a hospital in the metro area. At this point, we don't have an update on his condition.
It's just really an unfortunate, tragic accident, and all of the responders that were at the scene, and some family was up there as well. We're feeling it, and our hearts are with the families.
The sheriff's office says 2 other people, both men, were hurt but are going to be okay. In a statement from Levi's family, they said, quote, "In his final moments, Levi showed the courage and selflessness that characterized his life. He was a brave and loving brother. We will always remember the devotion he showed to those he loved." The National Weather Service says this is the first death in Clear Creek County caused by lightning since 2003.
A bear did not attack a man in Boulder County last week. The sheriff's office believed it entered the camper he was in after he suffered some kind of a medical emergency, and someone put 2 and 2 together. Still, wildlife officers killed that bear, saying it was a threat to public safety. CPW gave us an update today. They say the bear was killed last night after dogs tracked its scent. CPW says it broke into at least 1 camper and a vehicle, and there may have been others. CPW considered the bear a public safety threat because it was no longer fearful of humans and was comfortable forcibly entering structures to find food. The drought has led to an increase in bear sightings because it's made their primary sources of food harder to come by.
A new state law that goes into effect Saturday will place new requirements on the purchase of many semi-automatic rifles. Democrat-backed law passed last year, and it applies to most semi-auto rifles, shotguns, and pistols, specifically ones with detachable magazines. Anyone buying one of those guns will need to apply through the state's firearm safety system, which went live last week. That application will then go to the local sheriff's office, which will either grant or deny eligibility. And then the purchaser will have to go through a safety course through Colorado Parks and Wildlife. Anybody who already has the hunter's education course can do a basic 4-hour additional course. If not, it's a 12-hour course, and afterward, there's an exam.